Good morning, everybody. I'm Father Fred Enman. I am a graduate of the class of 1978 of Boston College Law School. And for 27 years, I have been the chaplain at BC Law. And it is my privilege this morning to offer an invocation for our assembly. And before I ask you to stand, would you please give one more round of applause to these wonderful graduates? And I ask you to stand as you are able. Let us pray. Good and gracious God, as we gather here on this festive day, we ask your blessing on our Boston College community, especially our law school graduates of the class of 2024. We also ask your blessing on all of us, their families and friends. We give you thanks for their many achievements while they were students here, and we ask you to bless them with your love and guidance as they continue to move on to lives of service in the legal profession. We are mindful that you call all of us to be instruments of justice. In sacred scripture, we hear your prophet Amos cry out, "Let justice roll down like a river and righteousness like a never-failing stream." And we are challenged by the call of your prophet Isaiah to release those bound unjustly, to untie the thongs of the yoke, to set free the oppressed, breaking every yoke, to share our bread with the hungry, to shelter the oppressed and the homeless, to clothe the naked when we see them, and to refuse to turn our backs on our own. We know that you call us to do justice in the world, and we ask you to bless us as we undertake that task. May you inspire us all, Lord, to be worthy stewards of your creation and to respect your divine image that is present in us all by heeding your call to love our neighbors and ourselves and to do justice in our world. And finally, we ask your blessing upon all who have worked so hard to make this festive event possible. We ask you this in confidence, for you are the God who made us, you are the God who saves us, you are the God who sanctifies us each and every day. Amen. I ask you to remain standing, and at this time, I invite Amy Oniweni, class of 24, to please come forward and sing our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air,
Thank you, Amy, and everyone please be seated. Father Leahy, Provost Quigley, members of the faculty, our commencement speaker, Judge Laura Montecalvo, and especially members of the Boston College Law School class of 2024 and their families and friends, welcome to our commencement celebration. This is my second commencement leading this wonderful law school as your dean, and I share not only my own congratulations, but also greetings and congratulations from your professors who have supported you and who are so proud of you. Of course, every graduation is and always will be a special experience, but we have been especially inspired by you, class of 2024. The JDs among you arrived in a world still recovering from COVID-19 and learned, along with all of us, to come back to in-person classes, sometimes making adjustments on the fly. You are part of the unprecedented swell of interest in law school across the country in 2021, which led to our largest class in recent history, managing more tightly packed classrooms and also fewer open parking spaces. And all of you have been so resilient, rising to meet many other challenges and building a palpable feeling of togetherness. I have been amazed by the lasting bonds that are formed here at BC Law between students, faculty, and staff, and across our alumni, a group that you are about to join. These bonds are formed through a shared sense of mission, a culture of respecting others, and a commitment to using the law to uphold equal human dignity and to create real, lasting change in society. You have dealt with the loss of one of your own, Alicia Parker Martell, who passed away in March, and who was such a presence in the school and committed to doing good in the world. Please join me in a moment of silence to hold Alicia in our thoughts. Thank you. I have been so grateful over these last months to be in a community with such a deep commitment to compassion for all, in these moments of personal tragedy and also tragedy in the world, where we have seen the suffering of border crises, accelerating climate change, continued threats to democracy and war, from Ukraine to Sudan and to the Middle East, where all of us have struggled to comprehend the horrific attacks on innocent civilians in Israel and the horrific loss of innocent Palestinian life and the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. This commitment to compassion for all and to upholding equal human dignity for all people and in all places is grounded in the school's Jesuit heritage and its tradition of affirming that the suffering of one in no way diminishes that of another. That commitment to shared humanity stands at the core of this school's mission, the equal preciousness and potential of every life, the equal tragedy of every life lost or derailed, and the ethical imperative to look beyond difference and political division to find that shared humanity. This is captured in the foundational moral tenets of so many of the world's religions and philosophical traditions, echoed in ideas like that found in Matthew 25, "Whatever you did for the least of these, you did for me." This foundational tenet of equal dignity and equal preciousness stands as the ethical core of the rule of law as well, and of the belief that the rule of law should apply to everyone, everywhere. And it grounds so much of the work we do and so much of what you have studied at BC Law School. It underpins our commitment to zealously serving and understanding as worthy each individual client, to providing each with a chance at due process and justice, to fighting for any one who has been wrongly convicted, to supporting the dreams of an entrepreneur. and also to studying and working for large-scale legal and regulatory systems, locally, nationally, and globally, that support a vision of fairness, justice, and equal dignity. And of course, the rule of law itself is under significant pressure, here in the US and around the world. It is not something we can take for granted, and the concept can be made empty or even used for ill without lawyers, good lawyers, to define and shape this concept through their work. BC Law's mission of lawyers for the greater good is so very needed today, and I hope that all of you are forming your own definition of what that means for you, whether you're going into big law, a nonprofit, business, government service, a clerkship, or maybe all of the above over the course of a career, and certainly as a citizen of your communities and of the world. So, wherever that career takes you, please remember that this large, often abstract concept, the rule of law, takes life and becomes meaningful for people on the ground through your work and your actions, and that you carry its potential with you. But in this meaningful work and in these difficult times, allow yourself moments of joy and celebration as we have come together here, and give yourself moments of rest too. Remember to take care of yourselves, to turn to those around you now for support and happiness, your classmates, your professors, and the larger BC Law alumni community, to find sustenance in the memory of those who came before you, all of you, you who are the fulfillment of your ancestors' wildest dreams, and to receive love from your family and friends who have supported you, many of whom are here today. In fact, I would like all of you graduates to thank those who have supported you. Please turn to the audience here today, celebrating with you and representing those who celebrate from afar, and give them a round of applause. My challenge to you today, class of 2024, a day of celebration for all you have accomplished and all the hard work that you have put into this degree. My challenge is that you never forget these lessons you have learned from your faculty, your classmates, your mentors here. Protect and nourish that drive to make the world a better place. Use the tools we have given you to make amazing things happen. We are so proud and so excited to see how you will embody and advance BC Law's mission of using law for the greater good. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2024. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the Reverend William P. Leahy of the Society of Jesus, President of Boston College, who will offer his welcoming remarks.
Dean Leonow, Judge Montecalvo, our speaker, members of the faculty, staff, and guests, and especially the 2024 graduates of the Boston College Law School. Welcome to this grand event. I offer that welcome on behalf of the entire Boston College community. And I know we have much to celebrate this morning: achievement, commitment, perseverance, desire to serve. And you who are completing your law school days know how much discipline and motivation and care it took for you to achieve this goal. I am confident that our world will benefit greatly from you. You are part of a law school that, ever since its founding in 1929, has strived to graduate individuals who not only will be competent in the law, but also committed to living lives of integrity and service and providing hope. We live in a time where it's so obvious that not only our nation, but the entire world need lawyers who are guided by a sense of ethics and care for the vulnerable, who strive to protect legal and human rights, who work for justice, and who know and respect the rule of law, so foundational in our civilization. The law has been and must remain a meaningful way to serve and do good and enhance wider society. This day reminds us of that commitment, of that calling. And it also invites us to look back in gratitude, savoring the accomplishments and commitments and assistance that have helped you as the members of the class of 2024 to be here. We also take a moment today to consider the opportunities and to say we are going to dedicate our lives to working for the greater good. And as part of that rededication and remembering, I think it's important that we acknowledge how much we have been helped in our lives, parents, family, faculty, you as graduates. You have helped one another. So my prayer for you is that you continue with those ideals, that you strive to live up to the call of being a lawyer, an attorney, working for good. And may God continue to bless you, graduates, and all those that have enabled you to be the people you are today. Bless you in your future work, bless you in your future lives, and enable you to share with others the many talents and gifts that you have been given. My congratulations and best wishes to you. Thank you.
And now, I'm delighted to introduce our commencement speaker, Judge Laura E. Montecalvo. Judge Montecalvo sits for the United States Court of Appeals for the First Circuit, which hears all federal appeals from Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Puerto Rico. She received her JD from BC Law, magna cum laude, and began her career as a trial attorney in the tax division of the Department of Justice before joining the Rhode Island Public Defender's Office. She became Assistant Public Defender and Chief of the Appellate Division, and then served as the Chief Public Defender of Rhode Island from 2020 to 2022, overseeing the office that provides legal representation to those who cannot afford a lawyer in criminal proceedings. She was nominated by President Biden to the First Circuit and confirmed by the U.S. Senate Committee on the Judiciary in 2022. Everyone, please welcome Judge Laura Montecalvo.
Thank you, Dean Lanau, members of the BC Law faculty, and President Leahy. It is an honor to be here. Class of 2024, Boston College Law School graduates, congratulations. It might seem obvious to even say this, but you've learned a lot over the past 3 years. You've learned how to outline, you've survived the Socratic method, you've discovered how much of your future career will be guided by a single blue book. You've conquered exams and job interviews, participated in moot court and mock trial, wrote onto a law journal, and worked hard as student attorneys in a clinic. These are truly achievements to recognize. So like you, I graduated from BC Law School 24 years ago. And what I remember most about today was that mixed into all this celebration and the relief of finishing exams was a question looming in the background. And you are probably asking a similar question to the one I was. Have I learned how to be a good lawyer? And the answer, candidly, is not quite yet. Yes, you can recite the elements of contract formation in your sleep. And probably you've annoyed your loved ones here in this very room by arguing with them like you were conducting a cross-examination. And if your BC Law experience was anything like mine, you've been taught by incredibly smart and thoughtful professors at a school dedicated to graduating students who are eager to embrace the role of law and of legal institutions in tackling today's greatest problems. But we call lawyering a practice for a reason. No matter how much you learned in class, much of the learning you will have to do as a lawyer will come from trying new things and from occasionally stumbling. But I think there are a few really concrete steps you can take to start you off right on the path to becoming a good lawyer. And so to talk about one of those steps, I want to tell you a story about my first few months as a judge on the First Circuit Court of Appeals. And now, for those of you who don't know, the First Circuit is one of 13 federal appellate circuits in the United States. We're based here in Boston, and we hear federal cases originating in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Maine, and Puerto Rico. Above us sits the United States Supreme Court, and below us are the district courts in the 5 states in the First Circuit. But one of my first tasks as a new judge was to set up my office, and that meant ordering furniture and paper for the printers. But it also meant creating an administrative system for the work, to keep track of it and to make sure it got done. And it won't surprise you to hear that the system I came up with involves an Excel spreadsheet. And we creatively named it Case Tracker. If I knew I was talking to you about my spreadsheet today when I put it together, I would have named it something far more interesting. And in it, we keep track of every case we've ever handled. And you can imagine that means we have entries about deadlines, about who's writing the case, about the case numbers of the cases themselves. But there's a tab in that spreadsheet that I think is really special. And it's a carryover from my 22 years of work as a lawyer. And it's a tab that we named Lessons Learned. And I want to suggest to you that in the months and the years ahead, you begin to create your own Lessons Learned tab. Now, you don't have to use an Excel spreadsheet like I did. You don't even have to write anything down. But you can discuss the mistakes you've made and the lessons you've learned with colleagues or with friends or even just in your head. But the important thing is to recognize that you are going to make mistakes. And I encourage all of you to enthusiastically embrace the idea that as you sit here today, there are still lessons for you to learn. In fact, over the years and the decades of practice, there will still be things to learn. And it will be important to know that and to acknowledge it and to see those lessons when they present themselves. So I think if you take that first step, I am confident that you will have an answer to the question that I think is in your heads today. Have I learned how to be a good lawyer? So back to my spreadsheet. Because if step one is to be open to the idea that there are lessons to be learned from the mistakes you make, step two is to recognize those lessons when they arrive. The first entry in my lessons learned spreadsheet is a very straightforward one. Use the Oxford comma consistently throughout an opinion. Now, as a judge, my foremost goal is to make fair and unbiased decisions in the cases before me, and writing clear and straightforward opinions describing those decisions. And the consistent use of the Oxford comma in my writing is one tiny facet of how I work to write those opinions. You might be surprised to learn that there are actually many other lessons learned entries in my spreadsheet that are just as seemingly minute as the Oxford comma. My clerks and I make notes about quirky style conventions that are unique to our court, and good writing tips that we've picked up from other judges. Together, those entries represent the basic building blocks and skills that create an effective final product. And more importantly, they demonstrate how crucial it is to be receptive to feedback and to learn from those with more experience. I also had plenty of lessons that I learned before I became a judge. And I want to share one of those with you today because I think it will be valuable as you graduate and enter into the legal profession. And it has to do with narratives and with storytelling. As a brief background, our Constitution guarantees everyone who is accused of a crime the right to an attorney, even if they cannot afford one themselves. And the federal government and many state governments have established public defenders' offices to provide for that guarantee. And for many years, I represented indigent clients accused of crime as a public defender in state courts in Rhode Island. And so one thing you do when you're a public defender is you represent a lot of clients. And there is a point where the criminal legal system can feel like an assembly line of a case, a charge, and a punishment. And nothing stands out as remarkable except the fact that laws have been broken. Part of my job was to represent my client and to show the court and the government prosecutor what was different about my client, what stood out. And one way to sort of break out of what can feel like that never-ending production line is just to remember the importance of your client's name and your client's story. And the words you choose to convey those two things can make or break your case. So for instance, I could say about my client, the defendant was a man who was driving drunk. Or I could spend time thinking about my client, spend time with him, take the time to think about how to describe who he is and what he had done. And so I could say instead, this is Nick Brown. He is an 18-year-old boy from Alston who graduated from Brighton High School last week. In that first description I gave you, my client is anonymous. You know basically nothing about him, and most of what you do know is negative. And in the second description, my client becomes a three-dimensional person, someone you can care about no matter where you sit in the courtroom. This very basic idea about building a narrative isn't unique to public defender work, or even to representing individual people. For those of you who will go on to be public defenders or prosecutors or legal aid attorneys, it will be easy to see that in your daily work. But there are real people involved in every business merger, every bankruptcy and contract dispute, and every patent challenge. And as a lawyer and as an advocate, your job will be to tell their stories three-dimensionally. And so when I think of the lessons learned that each of you will be assembling as you work to become the best lawyers you can be, we know that step one is to be open to making mistakes and learning from them, maybe even creating a spreadsheet like I did. And step two is recognizing the lessons when they arrive, especially those about basic skills that make you a good lawyer, like strong writing and centering the human element of each case. But there is a third step of this lessons learned process that I want you to think about. You can't just learn lessons about the skills and the detailed decisions that make a great lawyer. You're going to need to have some broad macro entries in your metaphorical spreadsheet. Some broad entries in my lessons learned spreadsheet are concepts that I only truly understood when I began to work as a lawyer. For instance, I have found as both a lawyer and an appellate judge that collaboration between colleagues always makes for a better product. But the thought I'd like to leave with you today about these broader lessons is one more lesson that I learned in the process of becoming a federal judge. And I think it might be helpful to you as you start your legal career. Sometimes there are going to be professional opportunities that are presented to you that you think you would be good at and you know you would love to do. But for whatever reason, you are reluctant to take the step of applying. And there are a lot of reasons why submitting your name for a new job can be really difficult. As lawyers, we are trained to identify risk and to spot issues. Naturally, then, those instincts sometimes hold us back when we are considering taking risks for ourselves. You might be afraid of rejection, or you might think that your experience isn't enough to meet that lofty qualification section in a job posting. Especially early in my career, or early in your career, I should say, it is easy to feel insecure about your lawyering abilities. And when you turn your razor-sharp issue-spotting skills onto yourself, you might convince yourself not to take a step that will bring you great personal or professional satisfaction. So in my case, I thought being a judge on the First Circuit would be an incredibly interesting and rewarding job that required skills I had developed in my many years as an appellate litigator. But I hadn't seen many public defenders become appellate federal judges, and I worried that that would mean I was not a strong candidate for the position, and I might put a lot of effort into the application process, yet get nowhere close to being in real contention. And of course, there was also the worry of failing in a very public way. But around the time I was applying, or thinking about applying for the position, I happened to hear a speech by a judge who said that throughout her career, she applied for jobs she was interested in because she figured, what's the worst they can say? It's no. And that's not that big of a deal. You can deal with no. So one entry I think will be important on your own lessons learned is something that says, what's the worst they can say? The worst they can say is no. So just go for it. Now, I started all this by saying that you all have learned a lot in your time at BC Law, and I did as well when I was a student here. But I hope you will create your own lessons learned spreadsheets and fill them with many things, from minutia to life-changing experiences that you encounter throughout your practice. And when you have a nice long list that takes a while to scroll through, I have no doubt that you will become not just good lawyers, but outstanding ones. Thank you, and congratulations and best wishes.
Now to announce the degrees awarded since May 2023. Marie Chevalier, Master of Laws. Juris Doctor, Alexandra M. Lebazievich, Samantha J. Perlman, Justin Anthony Zamora. Now the 2024 candidates for the degree of Master of Laws. Leela Adre. Claudio Colnago. Paul Leclerc. Ariane Julia Le Petit. Athena Onumus. Belén Palomo García. Marcela Perez Gardini Lucchesi. Elia Poiret. Alessia Roji. Ana Maria Rojas Gutierrez. Dilek Tanis Idemir. Thank you. Now the candidates for the degree of Juris Doctor. Giovanni Abishe. Jacob M. Abramo. Alexandra Afriat, summa cum laude. Aisha Asen. Kaylee Akar. Faisal Ibrahim Al-Bader. Amin Al-Ghamdi. Noreen Anderson, magna cum laude. Crystal Aneki. Zaire Armstrong. Ibrahim Ba. Ainsley Christine Bandrowski. Praise Danielle Bartholomew. Tyler E. Barton. Paula Bauron Lassini. Blake Ferguson Beatty. Ella Marie Bedicare, cum laude. Catherine Beckel, cum laude. Sarah Benamara. William Bennett. Kimberly J. Burnt. Jonathan Joseph Berchulis Fernandez. Samantha Byer. Natalia Biriel Fernandez. Joseph Black. Jordan Lee Blotcher. Sydney Halen Blomstrom. Sophia Elizabeth Bonadeo, cum laude. Anna Booth, magna cum laude. Adam Borai. Catherine Louise Boring, cum laude. Olivia Mary Brand. Kathleen Ann Brennan, magna cum laude. Lucy C. Briotti. Jonathan L. Brown. Samantha Patty Brown. Here to present his daughter, the next degree, is Adjunct Professor Eric Brunstad. Sonia A. Brunstad. Ansley Bryan. Victoria Rose Birch, cum laude. David Burdett. Kyle Burgess. Jacob Burkhead, cum laude. Kate Michelle Burns. Alberto Cabrera Rivera. Erica Colliero, cum laude. James Patrick Callahan, cum laude. John Casey Campanella. Alexandra E. Campbell Deal. Cameron Cantalmo. Michael Powers Carden, cum laude. Giovanna Claire Carlino. Justin Benjamin Cedeno. Michael James Cerulli, cum laude. Alan Chesko, cum laude. Isaiah Soteru Chapman. Danielle Michelle Sheffo, cum laude. Olivia Dorian Chilcott, cum laude. Natalie Rose Chuban. Jennifer Kathleen Chima. Hunter D. Tchaikovsky, cum laude. Robert Edward Clark. Adele Y. Clemens. Ella Grace Clifford, magna cum laude. Moshe J. Cohen Bengigi. Audrey M. Conrad. Michael Doyle Considine. Caitlin M. Cook. Margaret Ann Cooney. Regine Ray Cooper. Carla Cortland Cox. Katie Lynn Cross. Kristen Valentina Cuetos, magna cum laude. Samantha Lois Coppola. Lily Ann Dales. Connor Chisholm Dalton, cum laude. Caitlin Marie Daniels. Charles L. Davis, magna cum laude. Annalena DeClotz. Emmett Paul Delaney, cum laude. Cassandra Dimitri. Allison Riley Doak. Halua Althea Doherty. Joseph Donoso, cum laude. Sean Doolittle. Richard Christopher Dow. Robert Caleb Doyle. Cameron Lee Drake. Berlandine Ellie. Olivia King Erickson, cum laude. Scott Etcheturri. Shane Etcheturri. Bennett Evans. Alexandra Marie Even. Donald Fagan. Adriana Elena Farias. Michael Farnan, cum laude. Heather Faulkner. Rosa Samira Felibert. Yin Peng Feng. Alice V. Figlin. Cameron Grace Filer. Roman Filio. James Thomas Fiore, magna cum laude. Matthew Gregory Fisher. Hannah Naomi Flaherty. Jillian Gail Floyd. Nicole Samantha Foster. Michael Francomano. Anna Fusillo, magna cum laude.
Robert Gallo, cum laude. Catherine Gange. Patricia Garza Gonzalez, cum laude. Sam Gastelum. Joshua Geller. Megan Gemma magna cum laude. Alfonso Gentry. Sotiris Georgakopoulos. Mark Geraci. Maxwell Guessman, cum laude. Morgan Paulina Gertz, cum laude. Nima Gaidi. Joseph Gillis. Lindsay Glick. Nicole Elizabeth Goldman. Solomon Gottesman. Chris Green. Zachary Greenberg, cum laude. Corey S. Greer. Devin Rose Guancy, cum laude. Rebecca Guo. Andrew Lind Hadley. Logan Joseph Haggerty. Sebastian Haggerty. Tess Halpern, cum laude. Andrew Anthony Halstead. Daniel Ham. Lloyd Douglas Hancock II. Adrian Hanley, cum laude. Kayla Hardy. Isabel Hasselback. Joshua Helian. Mary Margaret Hanks. Lucas Hilker. Sarah Lauren Honeycutt. Rebecca Horton, cum laude. Joseph Hugo. Anna Hunt, summa cum laude. Sidra Imam. Jill Jacobson, cum laude. Michael Aaron Jingia. James Edward Johnson III. Jason Bunog Jose Carrasco. Ayana Ciara Joseph. Therese Marie Juno. Maria Eva Kanevsky. Suman Kang. Mackenzie Kerr. Winnie Kibe. Anthony Jang Kim, cum laude. Jane Yehoon Kim. Minjae Jeff Kim. Nina Maria Kim. Abigail T. King. Thomas Matthew Kinley. Riley Kopp. Hunter Evan Kowalik. Michael Tynan Kravitz, summa cum laude. Nancy Che. Lauren Ladino Saunders. Cheun Dana Lee. Jasmine Lee. Joshua Lee, magna cum laude. Emily Martine Levin. Xinghao Li. Jessica Irong Liang. Gwen Yung Baruth. Morgan Lloyd, magna cum laude. Chabeli Lopez. Alyssa Claire Lowell, cum laude. Catherine Lucas, cum laude. Davisha Lin. Taylor McDonald, cum laude. Samuel Mackey, cum laude. Rain Mafood. Omid Malik. Olivia Mirage. Juliana Marandola, summa cum laude. Emily Nicole Massey, cum laude. Gabriel Patrick Waring McCarthy. Kate McCarthy, cum laude. Reagan Lee McGinnis, cum laude. Simone McGovern. Jordan McGuffey. James McNamara. Michael Gayton McShane, cum laude. Josephine Alice Meyer. Olivia Mazzaros. Evan Olivia Metz, magna cum laude. Julie Meyer. Isabella Miller, magna cum laude. Catherine Miller. Amanda Alyssa Morales. Aaron M. Morris, cum laude. Holly Morris, summa cum laude. Here to present his daughter's degree is University Trustee John Morrissey. Mary Shea Morrissey. Time M. Morton. Tony Mugisha. Evan B. Muller, cum laude. Ryan P. Mulligan, magna cum laude. Theodore Christian Murphy. Brian Musoff, cum laude. Abdulrahman Rushad Muter. Emily Elizabeth Nassif. Fiona Marie Negron, cum laude. Kayla Yanti Brown. Julianne O'Connor, magna cum laude. Riley Scott Odoms, cum laude. Ryan O'Malley. Rebecca F. O'Neill, cum laude. Amy Lorna Achieng Onyonyi. Alfred Sean Oyong. Sydney R. Over.
Chandana A. Panduranji. Mira Popowski. Alexis Park. Rachel C. Paris. John Parrish. Shivani Patel. Talbot C. Paulson. Georgia Tudor Pemberton, cum laude. Emma C. Peplowski, cum laude. Tamara Alejandra Perez Cantalapiedra. Diana Petillon. Marie Elizabeth Picconi, cum laude. Emily Alice Sophie Pinner. Allison Mara Plotnick, cum laude. Stephen H. Polyakov, cum laude. Elizabeth Ann Popiti. Joseph J. Prisco III. Joshua Benedict Picario Foley, cum laude. Elliot Twang Putnam V. Jack Quinn, cum laude. Ariana Jacqueline Ritano, cum laude. Christopher Francis Rebliati. Thomas Gerard Regan, cum laude. Peyton Paige Reisinger, cum laude. Jessica Anna Rivalis. Imani Simone Francis Roberson. Elijah Thomas Rockhold. Chance William Liston Rogala, cum laude. Andrew S. Rose. Amanda A. Roundtree. Haley Elise Rowlands. Nicholas G. Russell, magna cum laude. Samuel Joseph Ryder, magna cum laude. Nicholas R. Sumarco. Edward S. Samuels, magna cum laude. Pedro Manolo Sandoval Boberg. Matthew Ralph Moonsu Santiago. Jessica D. Schatz, magna cum laude. Alexandra O. Shelley. Christopher Finnegan Schick, cum laude. Emma Claire Schlauger, cum laude. Victoria Anna Schmidt. Emma Grace Schultz. Alexander A. Schuans. Daniel Richard Scott, cum laude. Veronica Grace Burdage, Scott. Kathleen Erin Sellers. Annabelle Lee V. Sessoms. Paul J. Savigny, cum laude. Ali Arif Shafi. Nathaniel David Shea. Allison C. Sherwood, magna cum laude. Tiantian Shi. Caroline Schupman. Garrett Shore, cum laude. Madeline Hunter Simpson, magna cum laude. Brandon Patrick Smith, magna cum laude. Jason A. Smith. Andres Solis, cum laude. Herrick Michael Spencer. Mary K. Stanton. Margaret L. Steinrauf. Zachary Stern. Jenna R. Stevens, magna cum laude. Michelle St. Francis. Allison Elizabeth Straub Dolan. Jonathan Paul Sturr, cum laude. Shane R. Sullivan, magna cum laude. Jay Swanger, cum laude. Ashley Nicole Swims, cum laude. Erica Lynn Taft, cum laude. Charles L. Talisi, cum laude. Jennifer S. Tamkin. Ming Sha Yen Tan. Kevin Tang. John S. Thurston, magna cum laude. Matthew William Tisch. Nicole Ariana Tom. Robert A. Toscano. Zachary Fox Tricle. Sydney Justice Tresvant. Athi Triviti. Nicholas Wallace Turgis. Alec Edmund Repetti Tominski, summa cum laude. Brogan W. Tyre. Lucas Sears Yule, cum laude. Teodoro Fabri Upton, cum laude. Carrie Ann Vance, cum laude. Tyler Vandry. Christina Marsheva Vasieva. William K. Vaughn. Nicole Kathleen Venkatraman, magna cum laude. Carly A. Viida, cum laude. Tracy Lynn Walker, cum laude. Aolan Wang. Edwin J. Ward IV. George Henry Ward. Amanda Janelle Washington. Jacob Weinstein. Rachel Erin Weir. Sarah Rebecca Weisswasser. Tracy Maureen Werrick, cum laude. Sophia G. Westfall. Taylor Christine White. Emily Whiteley. Hannah K. Wilkins, cum laude. Michael W. Wiper, cum laude. Claudia L. Woodfield, cum laude. Alex R. Work. Alicia Lene Wright. Songhae Shanga Yang. Se-hee Yim. Hwang Jun-yu. Nicolo W. Zamboni. Benjamin Z. Zimmetbaum. Danielle Zellner, magna cum laude.
Congratulations, graduates. We're so proud of you. I would now like to present our Commencement Day Awards. First is the Susan Grant Desmarais Award for Public Service Achievement and Leadership. And this year's award winner is Aisha Asan. Aisha's deep commitment, here we go, to social justice and her conviction and personal integrity have been hallmarks of her 3 years at BC Law. It has underpinned her work and determination to increase diversity and inclusion in the legal profession. This year, she served as one of the Law Review's DEI committee chairs, where she worked tirelessly toward making Law Review a more inclusive opportunity for historically underrepresented law students. Her scholarship embodies her commitment to public interest as well. One nominator shared that beyond being a dedicated scholar and skilled writer, Aisha understands the role of legal scholarship in advancing the public interest and the power of law to create social change. Another nominator noted how she would call attention to issues in legal doctrines and access to justice that present barriers for marginalized groups. During law school, Aisha also served as co-president of SALSA and as a teaching assistant for the first year Critical Perspectives course. She interned with the Civil Rights Division of the U.S. Department of Justice, the Washington Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights and Urban Affairs, the Southern Poverty Law Center, and the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia. She showed immense dedication to her clients in the Civil Rights Clinic, where, as one nominator noted, Aisha demonstrated her deep commitment to uplifting the civil rights of all people, especially the most vulnerable. We're grateful for her lasting contributions and leadership, and the significant impact she will surely have on her clients, colleagues, and community as she joins the Washington Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights and Urban Affairs as an Equal Justice Works Fellow. Congratulations, Aisha. Our next award is the St. Thomas More Award for exemplifying the intellectual, spiritual, and moral qualities of St. Thomas More. This year's St. Thomas More Award goes to Regine Cooper. To those of you who have had the privilege of meeting Ray, it will come as no surprise that she received a flood of nominations for this award. Throughout her time at BC Law, Ray has been a leader to all. She served as co-president of BALSA as well as LSA president, and while she found great success in these roles with a long list of achievements through these organizations, her impact has extended well beyond these roles. If any student faced a challenge, Ray was there to support them. She made herself available to meet with 1Ls and 2Ls, to help with job searches or prepare for courses and exams, and engaged classmates with intelligence, compassion, determination, and grace, which will serve her well as she begins her career at Goodwin Procter in Washington, D.C. As one nominator highlighted, it is hard to find words to convey her palpable joy, boundless love, and creative and generous intellect. One faculty member described Ray with reference to Matthew 5:14-16. It seems Matthew is popular today. And here's an excerpt of the verses that were quoted. "You are the light of the world, and a city built on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a basket. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, that they may see your good deeds." The faculty nominator continues, "What sticks with most people are the oft-quoted references to lighting the world, being a city on a hill, and shining so that others can marvel at our good deeds. For Ray, though, the most important part is about giving light to everyone in the house. She does not shine to garner praise, and she certainly does not climb to impress others. She shines to give everyone else light in the room. It has been a pleasure for me to work with Ray over this last year, as she truly typifies what it means to be a servant leader and a role model." Now for the Philip Joseph Privitera 95 Commencement Award for exceptional contributions through outstanding scholarship and commitment to service, as well as to the work of the law. This year's Privitera Award winner is Jonathan Bartulis Fernandez. Jonathan has had a tremendous impact on the school's scholarship and community, and his time at BC Law has truly been in a pursuit and service of others, enriching our community and communities beyond campus. He has excelled academically, and he has brought a commitment to inclusion and to social justice to the law school and the greater legal community. During law school, Jonathan interned at the ACLU of Massachusetts and the Massachusetts Appleseed Center for Law and Justice, and completed 2 semesters with the Civil Rights Clinic prior to leading the Law Review as one of its editors-in-chief. He served as a public service scholar, co-president of SALSA, an active member of the Disability Law Students Association, an impact blogger, and peer coach, and after graduation, Jonathan will begin his legal career as a judicial clerk for the U.S. District Court for the Western District of Texas. One nominator notes that Jonathan embodies the very best of BC's core. He is a brilliant critical thinker and fully committed to both the ideas and practice of social justice, and a deeply caring community member who supports his friends and professors at every turn. He is a phenomenal human being. Another nominator wrote, "Jonathan authentically tries hard to make the world a better place for more and more people. We were so lucky to have him among us." Our final award today is the Attorney Michael A. Flanagan Award, which recognizes a student who ranks first in the graduating class, our valedictorian. And I'm delighted to share with you that the valedictorian of the BC Law class of 2024 is Anna Hunt. In her time at BC Law, Anna has been a TA for Professor Van Nesty's law practice class and for Professors Bloom and Horowitz's 1L elective on practice in the criminal justice system. As a 2L, she and her partner, Erica Caliero, were finalists in the Grimes Moot Court competition, receiving the awards of Top Oralist and Best Brief. And as a 3L, she served as co-editor-in-chief of the Law Review with Jonathan Bertulis Fernandez. After graduation, she looks forward to starting her career at Ropes & Gray in Boston in our healthcare practice group, launching what's sure to be a stellar career. Congratulations, Anna. I would now like to invite the president of the Law Students Association, Regine Cooper, to the podium.
I had to check the time to make sure it was still morning. Thank you, Dean Linnell. Good morning. I said good morning. Thank you to all the family and friends that have traveled far and wide. Thank you to the administration and university for all that goes into planning the commencement ceremony. We appreciate you. Nate, thank you. Thank you to the faculty and staff that has supported us, tortured us a little bit, but you really stuck by us and saw it through. Thank you. Lastly, thank you to the graduating class of 2024. The largest class in BC Law history. The most diverse class in BC Law history. And specifically to my Boston students, the largest Black class in BC Law history. I'm proud and elated to stand before you all. People were asking me, Ray, you get to speak. Ray, what are you gonna say? I don't know. I was planning the 3L events. Give me a second. And when I thought about what I wanted to say, I found myself speechless because this experience has been tough, to say the least. From 1L feeling like one hell, where we are put under so much pressure to perform academically, network, take care of our mental health, and be present in communities with our friends and family, and constantly dealing with imposter syndrome, even though we are all so great. Then looking to the legal world and receiving Supreme Court decisions about reproductive rights and affirmative action. And so many feel hopeless or as if the law has forsaken us. Then to top it off, the world seems to be in disarray from October 7th and following events leading to humanitarian crisis and outrage across so many communities. Lastly, we lost a classmate, a friend, and a loved one that I thought we would walk across the stage with. All of this feels heavy, as though we're trying to find ways to get through this on our own, deal with the law school problems, deal with trying to pass these classes and all of our own endeavors. However, here we are, right now. I look out to all of you with hope and amazement. You all have shown up repeatedly to show that we will not be bystanders, that we will not allow these things just to happen in the world. We are change makers. Yesterday at the award ceremony, I witnessed so many of you all get acknowledged for community service and being zealous advocates for the community that we serve and represent. How can I not feel hope and inspiration? I see us show up for each other, whether it was late nights in the library, cheering for 5K races, or Charlie in Survivor. Shout out to you, Charlie. Actively participating in peaceful protests and fighting for more inclusivity, whether that is in the university or in the world that we live in. Or, even literally trying to figure out what business casual means for all the events that we have to attend. I have personally seen the immediate outpour of love and presentness when we are all in need. Even when we thought that we didn't have more to give, we give it time and time again. And that is beautiful. My entire law school experience, I have questioned, what does it actually mean to be a lawyer? I'm not gonna lie, I usually ask that question when I look at my bank account to see if it's all worth it. But that's besides the point, and we'll talk about that later. I think I finally came to an answer at an LSA barbecue and cornhole tournament constructed by Michael, shout out to you, this spring. And to be a lawyer means to choose a life of service. Whether it is in public service, exonerating wrongly convicted, or working for a judge, servicing your clients or your community to give food at a social event, or breaking generational curses to care and service your family as a first-generation grad. I am a first-generation grad. It is a life of service in all ways. I sincerely respect and have care for each and every one of you, no matter the emails or the GroupMe messages. I try to lead with the mindset of care throughout my entire experience as the BALSA president as well as the LSA president. Thank you. I try to exemplify care and compassion, patience, and willing to offer and help in any way possible. And it is because you all have inspired me to show up consistently, authentically, to be myself, a caring, compassionate individual. Love you guys. Before I close, because it's time to go, I would like to ask Joseph Black to stand. We started this adventure together in 1L, you with flip-flops, me nervous. And then we ran together. Rowie is the way, Ray and Joey. It's been tough. We've been dealing with a lot of things in our community. But when I say I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to run with you and to call you my friend through thick and thin, the late nights and the last minute things that we had to do for social events. And I wanted you to know that I love you and for you to feel recognized and appreciated. So let's give it a shout-out celebration for Joey. Thank you. Thank you, girly pop. And to my family and friends that have traveled far and wide, that has built me up brick by brick in different areas of my life, different times of my life. I sincerely love you and appreciate you from the West Coast to the South, all the way to the Northeast. I love you all. Thank you so much. And lastly, to my graduating class, y'all did y'all thing. Continue to be trailblazers, and remember that you all have so much to celebrate. But please remember, there is work to be done. Take a second. Take a second. Thank you all for trusting me to lead and allowing me to lead. And congratulations to the graduation class of 2024. Mama, we made it. Thank you.
Please stand as you are able. Let us pray. Almighty and eternal God, we thank you for giving us life and blessing us with this day. We thank you for blessing us with this commencement ceremony. This ceremony that simultaneously marks an end and a beginning. This class, the class of 2024, has concluded their enrolled student status here at Boston College Law School. They tied up their practicums, their coursework, their pro bono work, the whispered conversations between library shelves, the graceful end of the student and passion debates, the when I graduate and the when I become a lawyer. Holy God, this ceremony marks the beginning of the class of 2024's transition into being professional practitioners of the law. They did indeed graduate. They will become lawyers. Their conversations are fit for subject matter experts because they are indeed subject matter experts. Their whispers are now loud voices of advocacy. Their practicums are now viable points of experience. They are graduating into a world that is different from 3 years ago. A world that is filled with some pain, suffering, confusion, and hurt. And in the midst of it, you present them as rays of light. The light that is their calling to serve in this vocation of the law. A vocation that now more than ever needs faithful laborers, and you have blessed us with these that are in front of me. And Holy Creator, we know that they did not do it all by themselves. Of course, your divine hand was there through their friends, family, professors, administrators, well-wishers, site supervisors, and the like, to help guide them, to advocate for them. Let our graduates remember this. as they were cheered on and prayed for them to continue to do the same for those who seek their guidance and their counsel, especially for the least of these, our marginalized siblings. We ask you all this in your most precious and holy name. Amen.
This concludes our commencement exercises for the Boston College class of 2024, and I invite all of you to join us for our reception in the concourse above us. The graduates will process out to the front of Conti Forum to greet our faculty, and then continue back into Conti to meet their families on the concourse level. Again, congratulations to all our graduates and their families and friends. We are so proud of you.